Are you always coming up with ideas? Do you marvel at successful business owners? Do you hate being told what to do? Ever take things apart just to see how they work? Are you a dreamer? If you've answered yes to any of these questions, this podcast is for you. Welcome to the Entrepreneurial Enclave with Kevin Wortham, the podcast that focuses on building, maintaining, pivoting, planning, and investing in you, the entrepreneur. But first, a word from our sponsor.
Pro Tapes and Specialties is the world leader in tape manufacturing and specialty conversion with over 40 years of experience. In addition to our pro brand of high-quality specialty adhesive tapes, we provide contract converting services that help improve your profitability, streamline your supply chain, and reduce inventory cost. We offer the most complete range of converting capabilities in the industry, such as cloth tape, double-coated tape, specialty tape, paper tape, masking tape, vinyl tape,
carton sealing tape, adhesive transfer tape, duct tape, foam tape, electrical tape, filament tape, foil tape, reflective tape.
And the tape just keeps on rolling. Visit us online today at www.protapes.com or call us at 800-345-0234. Pro Tapes, it's just how we roll.
Welcome to another fantastic episode of the Entrepreneur Enclave, Life's Coming Attraction. I am your host, Kevin Wortham. Listen, before I introduce this next gentleman, my next guest, I had to run around the park just to get my energy up because this brother's going to get us hyped. Tony Jackson, welcome to the show, man. What's going on?
Hey, thank you so much, Kev. It is a pleasure, man, and an honor to be a part of your show today.
Absolutely. So I am going to give you the platform. We're going to start with what you have coming up on April 23rd because I want you to spend the time talking about that for the listening audience. What's happening on the 23rd of April, man, in the city of Trenton?
Yeah, man, I am so excited and really just honored to be able to have an entrepreneur forum.
Yes. That's
going to take place on Saturday, April 23rd, as you said, at the Mercer County Community College James Kearney campus right in the city of Trenton. And I'm telling you, we're so excited because we want to give not only the youth, not only students from the college, and around the area, but the community and the residents of Trenton an opportunity to learn more about entrepreneurship. And when I tell you we're going from A to Z in this forum, man, it is from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on April 23rd. We're going to go the full gamut and give folks everything they need to learn about entrepreneurship. Now, listen, we know entrepreneurship, man, is an activity of setting up a business, yes. Right? It's taking on a financial risk with the hope of getting a profit, right?
Absolutely.
But Kev, let me tell you, man, I look at hope like my faith.
Yes, sir.
Right? I take my faith and I say, I believe that it is possible in all things if I do the work. I will be able to succeed. And that's what entrepreneurship means to me, man. If you put forth the work, I believe and I know that you have the capability to succeed at it. And we want to bring a great success rate to the city of Trenton for people who can be independent. Yes. And not always have to worry about, others who have businesses. We can be the lender and not the borrower ourselves.
Yes.
Okay. And so that is what we're going to be teaching. We are coming. Our goal, man, is to inform, to educate, and to inspire. Those are our three major goals, man. We want to inform the people about what entrepreneurship is.
Yes.
We want to educate them on how to go about doing it. And we want to inspire them with some of the things and some of the successes that some of our keynote speakers have already had. And we're just excited, brother.
Let's talk about some of the keynote speakers. Who are some of them that are coming?
Well, my main keynote speaker that we have coming is Perrin Jr. He is, man, when I tell you, he is a wealth of knowledge.
Yes.
He is coming to the city of Trenton to give the folks who want to hear from him not only an opportunity to hear his story, but even to have Q&A. That means you're going to be able to ask him questions while you're there, and he's going to, answer those for you. But he is the co-founder of FUBU Clothing Worldwide.
Yes.
He, along with a notable name, Damon John, who's actually on the Shark Tank, and two of their other brothers started and founded FUBU. And let me tell you, it's been over 25 years, man, and they are still rolling. They just actually did a partnership with H&M.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Forever 21, and they are in Walmarts all over, man. So just think about something that they birthed in their home.
Yes.
They sold from home, and now they are worldwide. And Keith Perrin is one of our keynote speakers who's going to be there. Okay, we're super excited about that. We also have Kyle Panning. He's coming from over just in PA. He's going to be there. He owns a company called Ante Up Graphics. He is a guy who has owned his own company and his family for many, many years, and show you how he's going to really talk about how businesses were passed down to him from his grandmother, to his father, and now him owning his own company and it able to be something that the family has sustained for so long. So I'm just excited, man. We also have some other keynote speakers who are going to be there, who I'll name a little bit later, but I'm super excited for the city of Trenton to be able to get in front of some of these folks who have had longevity and had a great success in entrepreneurship.
Now, Tony, what was the reasoning behind you wanting to do this?
Well, Kev, I am an entrepreneur myself. I own a company called Trust the King.
Yes.
It is a Christian clothing brand, and we're excited about that. TrustTheKing.com for anybody who wants to check that out. I'll just go ahead and stick a plug early in that one, Kev.
Absolutely. It's your platform, brother. Go ahead.
I appreciate you. And so because I worked for the city of Trenton, Kev, for 14 and a half years. Wow. And worked for the law department in the city, and then over at the prosecutor's office, where myself and another young lady in the time where there was no chief prosecutor, we were running that office. And wow. we ran that office. I'm not an attorney, yes. But we were running that office and running it quite effectively. And what happened was I started to say to myself, wow, I could either do two things. I could go to law school and maybe become a prosecutor, an attorney, and do this because I'm running the prosecutor's office for the city of Trenton. and I'm like, or I can kind of demand more money and say, hey, I'm running this whole. Me and another young lady, her name was Colleen Shepard. I know she won't mind. She's throwing her name out. We were running this office. And so I said, you know what? I don't see it being possible for me to make the money that I believe that I want to make anyway in life. Yes. Of course, when you work for a government, there's a salary cap, right? Yes. There's certain things you can take each year, and then you reach a cap that's a salary that they say this is your max. Yes. And I believe that my value and my worth was more than what I believe I was capable of reaching at a cap with the city of Trenton. All right. So I decided I wanted to become an entrepreneur. Okay. Because guess what? I could write and choose and determine my own destiny. Wow. Say that again. One more time. I believe that I could choose and I could rewrite and I could, here's the word I really want to use, I could control my own destiny. Yes. I could control my destiny. And so I made a decision. I stepped out on faith. My brother happened to be the mayor at the time. Folks were like, man, you are crazy. Your brother's the mayor. What do you mean? You got it. Like, you're doing good. What you mean? You resigning from the city of Trenton? That's exactly what I did. Okay. And let me tell you, it was a faith. It was a faith walk, man. Yes. It was a faith because I went from actually having a full-time salary to wondering now with my wife at the time, so how I was pay bills. But I stepped out on faith. Now let me tell you, and this is going to tie into your question more specifically. When I started my company, I did a lot of things wrong, Kev. Okay. Because I just didn't know, right? Gotcha. I didn't have mentors and I didn't have all the resources that I need to grab, but it took a couple of years. Gotcha. And thank God I started to learn over time. Yes. Now, I got some mentors. Let me stop you for a second, Tony. Yeah. When you jumped out on faith, did you put together a business plan first? Let me tell you something. I did not.
Okay.
Okay, let me tell you. The business plan was in my head, and what I did was I just started to kind of move and navigate, pull things together. But honestly, I had this vision. I did make it plain. I did write it down.
Yes.
But I didn't have everything I needed in order to make it work properly.
Got you.
Okay, and that's important for me to share because a lot of times we move too fast on things.
Yes.
Without having the business plan in place.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So so to answer your question more specifically, Kev, the reason why I think I wanted this, the reason why I know that this entrepreneur forum is so important, because I want to give people who have businesses, who are considering starting their business,
yes,
the format to do it properly in its correct order, so that it doesn't take you as long to become successful at what you're trying to do.
Yes. Yes.
If I had done it, if I knew it, one of my friends wrote a song and he said, and it says, if I only knew then what I know now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it took me 3 years
Gotcha.
before I really say, okay, I know what I'm doing, and now things are shifting in my favor.
Got you.
And so this entrepreneur forum is going to give people an immediate insight
Yes.
to the exact tools that you can take and put in place to make your business run effectively. Not only that, we're going to give them an abundance of other things that they need to know in order to really navigate and sustain their companies.
Awesome. Now you and I, we were, as we were prepping for this interview, we had talked about price. Can you share with us the price?
Yes. The price for this event is $25.
Yes.
It is $25. Get you into this event. We're going to have some food and some beverages there.
Yes.
You're going, like I said, we're going to have some other keynote speakers. But you know, let me say this, Kev. I'm one of those guys who, when I'm trying to go for something, I am relentless. Okay.
Absolutely.
I am. And Keith Perrin was somebody who I felt like I wanted to get my hands on. I wanted to talk to him. I felt like I needed to, because his story was kind of like where I was going.
Yes.
And I was relentless in trying to get a hold of Keith Perrin. And finally, man, I did after probably 2 years.
Wow.
After 2 years of trying to connect with him, I connected with him. He graciously, man, invited me to their penthouse up in New York,
Okay.
For their company. And he became my mentor, man. And it really changed my business and it changed my life.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Persistency is paying off then.
Persistency and being relentless. I'll also say this too. We can't be afraid to be connected to people who are doing what we're doing.
Yes.
Because if you see someone that's successful in a business that you're trying to do, it makes sense for you to want to get knowledge and get information and be connected to people like that.
Absolutely. Now
so
when we were prepping, we had talked about the price point and we went back and forth. So I want you to share with the listening audience why you feel it's necessary to charge for this event, because I want them to get that not only from my mouth but from your mouth to the importance of paying for knowledge.
Absolutely, man. I have been investing a lot of time, Kev, on a word that we hear, but we don't actually consider exactly what it means.
Yes.
Okay, and that word is, you ready?
I'm ready.
Value.
Value. All right.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
We know that the word value has an extension of what it means of worth.
Yes.
And we've got to understand that we are worth investing in ourselves.
Yes.
And so sometimes you can give people something for free, but they won't value it.
Yes.
Now, it doesn't mean that something has to cost a whole lot in order for you to value it.
Yes.
But sometimes when you put a price tag on something, it makes you value it just a little bit more.
Absolutely.
I'm just being transparent even in this moment.
Yes.
So for me, I realized even later on, after a couple years, that I had to start investing my money in order to get the resources and learn the things from different people. I was the same way. Sometimes people would have a price tag. They're like, hey, you want to get into my room, my VIP room? It's going to cost you $199. And I was like, nah, man, I'm not paying $199. I could get on Google. But guess what? On Google, you can't talk to people.
Absolutely.
And you can't get in a room. You can't get in a room with like-minded people and say, hey, I just want to ask you this question.
Yeah.
And that is the difference. It has so much value when you're able to actually get in a room with people and get valuable information. I believe if people understand, I just did a video, and at the end of the video, the whole concept of the video was basically, am I worth it?
Yes.
Am I worth the investment?
Yes.
And so for $25, people are going to have the opportunity to hear, to learn, and to ask questions of people who have the success under their belt.
Yes. Now,
and so for me, if people are really serious about their business, really serious about their craft, really serious about starting a business, or really serious about getting information that really works, $25 is a small investment.
Now, so you are Tony Jackson, right? You are the serial entrepreneur now. Let's talk about how did Tony become Tony? Because I want the listening audience to understand that you just didn't pop up on the scene. You come from a family. There's historical entrepreneurial underpinnings in your life, and I want to talk about that as well. So tell us, how do we get to know Tony? Tony, where'd you go to high school, Tony?
Yep. So, man, I mean, let me start out by saying, because the first thing that popped in my mind is my mother.
Yes.
Okay. I have serious genetic roots for entrepreneurship in my bones. So much so, my mom would actually take me and my sister Pam to Columbus Market.
Oh, yeah.
And she was out there every single Saturday selling different types of things, man. And so my mother used to be a seamstress, and so I get all the entrepreneurial spirit comes from my mom,
Awesome.
And so you are right. My Aunt Betty, I watched have businesses. She still has a business today. I want to give her a shout out. Betty's Pop-Up in Ewing, 19 Lexington Avenue. So I've watched a lot of my family members who have businesses as well, who are entrepreneurs, man. So my family has a wealth of entrepreneurs. And of course, my brother Eric, who became the City of Trenton mayor, I've learned so much from him about business, what I mean? And things of that nature, man. So I am just to be direct, I am a Jesus Christ lover.
Okay.
I am a Christian.
Yes.
I believe in my faith in God.
Yes.
And I believe that between that, my entrepreneurial spirit from my parents, and then my relentless love to go after what I believe God shows me, and I go after, man, I believe that through God and through my faith that all things are possible.
Yes. And
so I love God. I love to be a blessing to people. The way I like to put those two things together is that a closed hand cannot receive a new blessing.
Very true.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me say that for people. This is important. A closed hand cannot receive a new blessing.
Yes.
So a new blessing. So I like to be open to give as much information as I can to people. To people come to me when I first started my business, and we were lucky enough to have one of my friends, Pastor John Gray, who actually was the pastor of Relentless Church.
Relentless Church, yes. Okay.
Yeah, Relentless Church. And he, I told him I was starting my company, man, and he was like, man, send me your stuff. I had no idea that he was about to be on Oprah Winfrey's channel.
Wow.
On the OWN network.
Yes.
And that's when we were trusted by Tony and Keisha. It was under my wife's name at the time.
Yes.
We became a national brand.
Wow.
Because they wore our brand on the own network for 3 series.
Wow.
So that is how we hit the national spotlight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And so, I'll just stick a pin in that too. Influence is everything.
Absolutely.
Relationships are everything.
Yes.
That opportunity was built on a relationship that I had with Pastor John Gray. So, man, I believe that my faith and like I said, having an open hand to bless other people is what allows me to continue to be blessed.
Now let's talk about your musical. Oh my God, you are a musician extraordinaire. Let's talk about that, and then let's talk about this new musical venture you have going on, JVR. Let's talk about that as well, bro. Come on, talk to me.
Man, yeah, man. And everything for me, Kev, it comes back to God. It really does.
Okay.
Because my biggest influence in loving music is through gospel music.
Okay.
Right. So I grew up in the church, singing in the choir and always I used to my family lived on Euclid Avenue. We were right down the street from El Bethel Baptist Church. It was like right up the block.
Yes.
Man, we used to go down the street in our pajamas, like literally. And I'm so serious. Even my dog used to be in the church, Kev. It was crazy. No. It was a community church, but I was friends with the pastor's son. So we would, we would get on the instruments and be singing. And so my youth is I grew up literally in the church. And that is where, from some of my family members, like I said, too, my Aunt Betty, who was the choir director at the time, and where I got the love for singing and instruments and all that, man. Now I'm just blessed to be able to, continue to share my gift through music with the local church over at Galilee Baptist Church.
Yeah. Give them another shout out though, Tony. Give them another shout out.
Yep. That's Galilee Baptist Church. I've been serving there, man. Time flies. It really does.
Yes.
Now for this year will make my 11th year that I've been as minister of music at Galilee, and last year I hit 25 years in music ministry.
Wow, blessings. Wow. Now
I'll be the glory.
Now let's talk about your new creation with JVR. Let's talk about that one, man.
Yeah. Oh man. So I'm so excited about the group. As many people know, so JVR is some people don't know. They say, what is exactly JVR?
Yes.
So JVR is the 3 guys in the group, and it's our last name. Mine being Jackson, V being Vaughn, who's Bishop Vaughn, and then Rowe, Pastor Rowe. So it's JVR. It's our last name, JVR Music Group. And yeah, man, we are an extension of singing for years with the group in Trenton. And so we formed a group of us 3.
Yes.
We just formed it 2 years ago. We came out with our first Christmas single. Yes. Not even all 2 years now. And so we are super excited, man, we're dropping another single that's actually about to come out probably in less than a month.
Wow.
We're super excited about that. The JVR Music Group, you can find us on Facebook and on Instagram under JVR Music Group.
Yes.
Myself, Felton Rowe, Pastor Felton Rowe, and John Vaughn, that's Bishop John Vaughn. And we are just excited to be able to use our gifts through song.
Wow. Now, as many people don't know, I was following you on Facebook. You were at the Super Bowl. What was the connection to the Super Bowl, man?
Oh, man, listen, I have been blessed to not only do some amazing traveling, Kev, and I'm telling you, I am humbled by it, man. It's a blessing, and I've been blessed to be able to get in front of some of the most amazing, which we call GOAT artists.
Yes.
Okay. Through my nephew.
Yes.
That's my sister Sandy's son, Adam Blackstone.
Yes.
Yeah, he is the music director to literally all of the stars. This was his 3rd Super Bowl. I was blessed to actually go to 2 of them.
Yes.
And I said through my nephew, who has a company called BBE. It's Basic Black Entertainment. You can check him out at basicblackentertainment.com.
Yes.
If you want to. But I've been super blessed, man. Like I said, my family musically goes deep. And Adam is definitely a great influence in my life. Let me tell you a quick story, Kev, and how time works, right? and how investing works, even not only investing our money, but investing into other people. When Adam was little, I don't even know right now how many years apart we are, but he was a little kid playing the drums. His feet couldn't even touch the pedals. And I would let him get on the drums during church, and he would be hitting the hi-hat and the snare.
Yeah.
And I playing the piano, and I sit him on my lap, and he'd be playing the piano while he was on my lap.
Yes.
And investing time with, whether it's parents with kids or investing in youth, you never know how those moments turn.
Absolutely.
And so, Adam also, of course, he had his great influence, which is his dad too,
Oh, yes.
who is also an amazing musician in our town,
Yes.
Bubby Blackstone. But, our family as a whole, that's what we did. We definitely cultivated our gifts early through
Yes.
family.
Yeah. Now,
And so Adam now, of course, man, from a kid who sat on my lap playing a piano to a kid who his feet could barely touch the pedals. Now he's one of the top sought after music producers and music directors in the world. And let me add, he's not only done 3 Super Bowls, but he's about to do be the music director for the Oscars this year.
whoa. Are you going to
Yeah.
those? Are you going out to those?
I'm not going to be able to make it to the Oscars. It's in California, and I already had a previous engagement.
You better cancel that one, bro. I don't know how big
Right,
it is, right? But
Listen, man. I pray that I pray for him all the time, and let me just say this too, Kev. My nephew Adam is like one of the most humble dudes you'll ever meet, man.
Yes.
I'm just so super proud of him. He could be. Some folks got the big head, and sometimes you need that, internally. But he's just a great dude, and I know, like him, we have the same concept, man. Our open hand to be a blessing to other people
Absolutely.
is why he continues to be blessed as well.
Now let me ask a personal question, man. With all the talent that you have, why have you chosen to stay in Trenton?
Well, that's a great question. Let me tell you now.
Because you could be anywhere.
Yeah. Now here's the thing.
Yes.
I've been exposed to the whole world pretty much.
Absolutely.
I traveled the world with the group that we were singing. John and I and Felt were singing with, called Devoted. We traveled the whole country singing early in our career.
Yes.
I've had the experiences of going and singing in front of like 20,000, 25,000 people.
Yes.
I've had those experiences, and I'm in a place now as I'm trying to build my brand that I am totally locked in to bringing other people up.
Okay.
And so I love my city, man. Let me tell you. And I think we talked about this as we were, when we were talking about getting ready for this podcast.
Yes.
And I talked to you specifically being very transparent of not really being as connected as I would want to be with a lot of folks who do what I do in the city, but mainly just because I was moving around so much.
Yes.
But now that I'm becoming more settled and locked into a few things that I have going on, it freed me up for time to be able to invest more energy, invest more resources, and invest more time in the city. And let me tell you, when I say something, I do it.
Absolutely.
My brother talking to my brother today, and he gave me a word that I actually love, it's sticking out of my head, and it's called doability.
Doability. All right.
Doability.
Yes.
Okay. And I have the ability to do it, but I'm about to really do it.
Yes. Yes.
And so my thing is, man, I'm really committed to doing everything that I can to give back to folks in the city of Trenton, because I know that there's folks in the city who have given back to me, and I want to return that same love in any way that I can.
Now watch this. I've got my crystal. I'm looking at my crystal ball, and I'm looking at the word doability. Doability. What would it look like if we were to once a year, right, had a weekend-long festival where we honored all the black and brown superstars that came out of or came from the city of Trenton? What would that look like? Can you imagine the ripple effect that we would have? Success would just come out of the concrete, out of the woodwork, right? What would that look like, right?
I'm gonna tell you, Kev, honestly, you gave me chills.
Yeah.
You gave me chills up and down my spine, man, because honestly, I think that, first of all, let me just go back to it one more time. With God, all things are possible. Let me just start there, right? I think that having people with like minds willing to work, I think that it would be amazing if we could come up with something that would, bring notoriety and really just advance and let people know what artists or whatever they are. It could be a plethora of things that people have done to be successes in our city. I think that would be fantastic. A festival would be great. I would be all in for sure.
Yeah, we often talk about there's nothing to do in Trenton, but we've got to get out of that cycle and just realize that there is so much more we need to be grateful for. We've got some historical people that have gone on before us that are impacting and influencing the whole world that came from Trenton. And if we knew that, we would act more accordingly. We would realize that we are superstars, kings and queens in our own right, and we would move at a higher vibration.
Absolutely.
So I just chuckle oftentimes that we don't, like you said, we don't see the value in something so simple as just gathering on a weekend and just celebrating their success. And if they couldn't come back, we can have like a big 8x10 picture of them so they would know who they are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, one thing is hard, man. And I think we talked about this is folks in your hometown, embracing you and celebrating you, right?
Yes.
And I think that it's so important for us to be able to know our heritage, so to speak, and the people who have paved the way for things that we do today.
Yes.
Figuring out who else is a great entrepreneur in our city, who owns some of these businesses that were in the city, that grew up in the city. I'm sure that if we did the investigations, we could find out who these people are, and they are notable folks. They paved the way. Trenton used to be a thriving community. I look at some pictures. There used to be movie theaters and grocery stores and all these things, and I know that the folks over at Economic Development are doing a great job in trying to revitalize the city, along with our mayor at this time, Reed Gusciora. But it's a work. My brother. Let me stick a pin in this too. My brother had an awesome, his theme, man, was together we can make a difference.
Yes.
And I just believe it's a true statement. And him actually saying doability. Yeah.
Yes.
We have the ability to do it.
Yes.
But are we going to stick together enough and come together enough with like minds to really make these things happen? I believe that it is possible. It is possible for sure. And Kev, let me tell you this too. While I'm just thinking, this just dropped in my Christian spirit, Doc.
Yes. That's all right, man. That's all right.
Yeah. So I look at myself as a tree.
Yes.
And some of the largest trees in the world are planted by little tiny seeds.
Yes.
And so sometimes we think that if we do a program, if we do an event, we get so consumed with who's going to come, how many people are going to be there, how many tickets are we going to sell, is anybody going to support us? And I'm just of the nature that, first of all, it takes time to grow anything.
Yes.
One of the biggest trees in the world, one of the biggest trees in the world is called the General Sherman tree.
Yes.
Over 270 feet tall.
Okay.
But it takes over 40 years in order for that tree to grow, but it was only birthed by a seed.
Wow.
And so what am I saying? Sometimes we got to plant seeds in the ground.
Yes.
Not be concerned with it growing in at the first event.
Yes.
And say, hey, if I stick with this over time, we can do something. And so that's what I want to say to encourage folks, man, who might have visions and ideas and these things. We don't have to worry about I'm not concerned if 5 people show up to my entrepreneur forum, because those 5 people are going to be blessed.
Yes.
They're going to get something out of what we're trying to do. They see the value in it. They're going to show up. And I am committed to making sure that I follow through, so that when I do other things and then years to come,
Yes.
people will believe in me and believe in things that I'm trying to do, along with hopefully some of the folks that I'm able to partner with in the city, and they'll also get on board.
Amen. Amen. Now, I know you gave me a short time window, so with the time that I have left that you gave me for my show.
No, go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
I'm just no. I want to give you this platform, man, because it's not often, right, that I get to bring on entrepreneurs that can talk unabridged about who they are and how they became that, because that's important. That's critical, because a lot of times we see things on social media, but that doesn't give us the bandwidth to truly understand who you are. So what is your daily motivation? How do you get up in the morning and just keep going and keep going and keep going? And what motivates you, right, Tony? What motivates you?
Cool. Yeah. So first of all, man, I was always, my faith in God. I gotta start there again. And everything that I do, like I said, everything that I do starts there.
Yes.
I believe that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I just believe that nothing would ever be able to shift my doubt in God.
Yes.
With that being said, man, is when I put when God gives me something, a vision or something that I want to do, I trust God with it.
Yes.
I go hard with what I do.
Yes.
When I jump in with my whole body.
Gotcha.
I don't stick a toe in it.
Yeah.
And so, man, my daily thought process is, I want to be the best version of me that I can be.
Awesome.
I want to be the best version of myself that I can be.
Awesome.
Am I perfect? Absolutely not. I strive to be excellent, Kev.
Yes.
And out of striving to be excellent, I get the best version of myself.
Awesome. I love it.
So I just want to encourage people, man, that, just strive to be the best that you can be. And I do that daily, not only for myself, but I also do that for my family, man.
Okay.
I have kids.
Mm-hmm.
I have children who are watching me.
Yes.
I have people in my family who are watching me. My family name is valuable to me.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so, it's an internal thing, even with my mother who has passed on and gone, man. I still continue to want to make her proud, even though she's not living.
Yes.
And so there are a plethora of things, man, that drive me. But thank God I've been given a gift from God.
Yes.
That allows me to just move and shape, man, in a way that causes other people. I love to inspire people.
Awesome. And I can hear and see that you're doing it quite well, man. My next thought is, how important was mentoring, having a mentor and being a mentor? How important was that, or is that for you?
Well, and here's the thing, Kev. For me, this is so funny. I just talked to my brother about this.
Yes.
Because God has gifted me. I've been a lot of times. I'm very resourceful, Kev.
Yes.
And so, I like to figure things out. I have the ability to do, this. My pastor said, I'll give him a shout out while I'm at it. My pastor, Darius Daniels, he says, I'm this and that. He says, I'm not this or that. I'm this and that. Right.
I got you.
And so, but I will say this, sometimes that's a gift and a curse too, because sometimes I've always wanted to do things on my own. I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to make it happen.
Yes.
But I've learned over time that it takes teamwork to make your dream work.
Yes. Yes.
It takes teamwork, man. It really does. And so I am of the nature now that, and I've learned this over time too, building partnerships and relationships with folks is how you really get to the next level as well.
Wow. Now, before we jump back to April the 23rd, right?
Yeah.
5 years from now, 3 years from now, what's your vision? Where are you? Where are we?
Well, I have, one thing I always talk about is planning, right?
Yes.
and in my planning state, I'll always go way past in my mind. God has always given me visions of what's my next things to do.
Yes.
And so I have some things that I have written that I'm working on that I want to do. Some involve the city. You know, I'll just go ahead out and say it. If someone else does it before me, it's okay. But I would love to build a performing arts center in the county. That's something that's near and dear to my heart, to give people who are artists or entrepreneurs a place, a safe haven to be able to hone their craft. I think it's so important. You know, we have a lot of singers and musicians and artists and authors and, you know, many different things that we have in the city, but there's no real place that we have for them to showcase, right?
Yes.
To showcase who they are and showcase what they do, or even be able to hone in on their craft.
Yes.
And so I would want to do a full gamut performing arts community center that you're able to have events there, but also for youth to be able to learn more and to ignite their craft to the next level.
Love it, man. Love it. So let's jump back on April 23rd. Big ups to you, man. So proud of you, man. So April 23rd, what's going down again is the Entrepreneurial Forum. Talk to me about it again.
Yep. April 23rd. That's a Saturday from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Trust the King will be at the Mercer County Community College. It's in association with Mercer County Community College.
Yes.
Will be at James Kearney campus. Let me give Dean Connolly a shout out there, who is the dean of the school at James Kearney campus, for graciously allowing us to come there and partnering with us. It's an entrepreneur forum that is geared to inspire. It is geared to educate and inform the entire community, the students, about entrepreneurship. We want to be a blessing and give out that information and have people come and hear from our keynote speakers that are going to be there. And we believe already that is already a success. We know that it will be, because we've already prepared and asked God to meet us in there so that we can be a blessing to all that would come to be a part of this entrepreneur forum that's going to be held right in our city of Trenton.
Fantastic, man. So in the final reigning moments, anything else that you would like to share with the listening audience? Anything else we need to know about your growth, about what keeps you focused, what keeps you so driven? Anything you want to share, man? Anything? Yeah, let me share this first because I didn't. If folks wanted to get a ticket for the Entrepreneur Forum, they can go right to our website, www.trusttheking.com, www.trusttheking.com, to get tickets for the Entrepreneur Forum. They could go right there and do that. Yeah, so Kev, ask me your question one more time. No, that's okay, man. You know, the whole purpose of the Entrepreneur Enclave is to allow entrepreneurs in a unabridged format share and talk about their story, because now in this world of social media, right, we don't ever get a chance to really go behind the scenes as to why is this entrepreneur so driven? Why is he or she so successful? So I just want to give you this time, and I want you just to kind of pinpoint those things that have made you successful. How do you and how do we, as potential entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs, how do we tap into those things that may be inside of us? How did you tap into your greatness?
Understood, man. Well, I appreciate that, man. I really do, and I'm humbled by your words, Kev. And I'll just say, man, I'm going to go back to it one more time. Yes. My faith in it is who I believe I am through Jesus Christ, who has allowed me to believe that I have the ability to do whatever I put my mind to. That's number one.
Okay.
Number two, I just believe that failure is not an option, Kev.
Got you.
I believe that failure is not an option.
Got you.
For me, and sometimes people look at a no as a failure, but it is not. It is a part of your journey.
Yes.
And so some people look at success, Kev, as having a lot of money, having a mansion, having big cars.
Yes.
To me, I do not look at success as to what I have. I don't put the worth and all the value in money.
Yes.
But I put it in my ability to be able to go after my dream.
Wow.
And that is what I equate to success.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that, that every event that you have, you have 1,000 people or you made $1 million.
Yes.
Right? We know some rich people who are miserable, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay. So for me, man, what continues to drive me
yes.
is the ability to control my destiny.
Yes.
And to be able to fulfill the dreams that I have and the visions that God continue to give me. That makes me happy. That gives me gratitude. And then when I'm able to bless other people through what God gives me, man,
yes,
I'm able to walk around free and happy, man. That's, I'm driven just to do the best that I possibly can every single day.
Awesome. Awesome. Man, Tony, this was a blessing. I knew when I had you on the show, you were going to blow the doors off, man. Thank you. Thank you. And quiet as kept, man, right? You are a pastor. You are a minister. You know that.
Man, listen, man, I am grateful for my love for God,
yes.
And I'm grateful that my mother instilled this. I always say it, and it's kind of a churchy thing. Where would I be without God, man?
Yes.
But I just really believe that. And I'm not, and Kev, let me just say this real quick. I'm not, as I talk about God and everything I do,
yes,
it is no way that I'm trying to influence people to go to God.
Understood.
The reason why I share that is so that they know
yes.
that for me, that's what works for me. Now,
yes.
I pray and hope that they would get an opportunity to get a relationship or know more about Jesus Christ, right?
Yes. Yes.
Because I'm not telling people not to do that.
Yes.
But for me, it's been my gateway. It's been my gateway to every success and everything that I do, man.
Yes.
And so I give all glory and all honor to God for every gift and all the favor that I have. Because guess what, Kev? Sometimes we don't get things, and I just believe this wholeheartedly.
Yes.
Sometimes sometimes you get favor. Those are things we call favor, things that you don't really deserve, but
yes.
they happen to fall in your lap.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I attribute that to my Christianity and my love for God, man. And so I always honor him. That is essentially why I started my company the
yes.
way I did. I wanted it to be God first and God the focus. And then, can I just add something real quick
Keep
with that,
talking,
Kevin?
brother. Keep talking. This is good.
Okay, listen. When I started my company, I sat down with my wife, and I knew God had given me a name, and I was
yes.
wondering what was I going to name it? What did I want to do? Even though I knew I wanted to be clothing, and I said to myself, sitting there, I was like, whatever it is, it's going to honor God.
Yes.
And it came up trust, and it is how I live every day, trusting God for all things. Because guess what, the road has not always been easy, Kev.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. Yes.
There's a lot of pitfalls. There's a lot of struggles. There's a lot of disappointment, and sometimes people only get to see the good out of what comes, and they don't understand or know the struggle that you go through in order
yes.
to get there.
Yes.
But God says that He'll never leave us, nor will He forsake us, man. And I just use my faith. Of what I can't see around the corner, I use my faith in God to believe that it's there, and I manifest that thing, man. I speak it into existence, and
yes.
as long as I believe that I put God first, that I'll be able to accomplish anything and everything that I want to. And I just encourage people. Let me just say it, man. Let me just go ahead and say it. I encourage people to pray. To build a relationship with God. I don't want to leave without saying that. And
yes.
That's how I've been able to, sustain myself even in dark days. You understand
yes.
what I mean?
Oh, yes.
And so I just thank God, man. I thank God for all things. And let me just say to you, I am extremely proud of you, Kev.
Thank you, brother. I'm humbled by your kind words. Thank you.
This is our first time, being able to really, besides the other day, talk in this manner. And I told you that I was really blessed and just grateful for God, even in this season, connecting us together, because I believe that we'll be able to do some great things together as well.
Absolutely.
So I'm just encouraged by what you're doing, and I just pray blessings over your podcast and continued success that it would be even greater than your mind could even imagine, man. So God bless
wow.
you, and
I received that, brother, and thank you. But I mean,
Amen.
you speak with so much fervor for your brand. I want people to understand that the brand is more than just the brand in this case. The brand is who you are and who you
It's
want
who
to
I
be,
am.
and
Who
who you are every day. So thank you, man.
Yeah, no problem. And I live, you know, some people start companies, and when I first started, I would tease people, man. I'll be like, oh, you buying Nike, you don't know what Nike means, and
Yes.
you buying Adidas, and you don't even know, you know, people have that thing. They say it means, they used to have that one thing that said, all day I dream about sex.
Yeah.
The acronym, you know, it's kind of, you know, I would say that, man, but you're right, because this brand, Trust the King, man, it is something that when I wear it, I believe it, brother.
Yes.
Like, I believe I'm putting on the whole armor of God every
Absolutely.
time I rock this Trust shirt, man. I'm a walking belief system.
Yes. I love it.
And,
I love it.
You know, I encourage people, you know, people, sometimes this is funny, but it's the truth. I have a lot of different logos, like different names.
Yes.
You know, like one is Thank You, Jesus, is TYJ, Work Your Faith, and I am able, and you know, all these different names. And sometimes I look in my closet, and depending on how I'm feeling that day, I'll grab that shirt because I know it's going to continue to speak to me.
Yes. Wow.
You know what I mean? And so as people would consider even, you know, checking around our website and looking at it, just know that it is something that I live daily. I trust God every day.
Yes.
And I want them to gravitate and hold on to that same mantra, that same mindset, man, that it's more than just your typical brand. It is a lifestyle for me, and I want it to be a lifestyle for them as well.
Amen. So let's do this before we wrap up. If folks are interested in reaching out to you and going to the Entrepreneurial Forum on April the 23rd, how should they be in contact with you?
Yep. So we have they can email us. They can definitely send us an email. Let me give you that email, itrusttk@gmail.com. itrusttk@gmail.com, or they can reach me on my website too, www.trusttheking.com. There's a form there. They can just write in whatever they need, and we will have somebody get back to them, you know, or by email as well.
Awesome. Now, I know a few years back you had a store in Quaker Bridge Mall. Can we expect to see more stores in the future?
Well, right now, you know, with social media and how it runs, and that's something that we're going to be talking about. Something that definitely changed my life as well, in the direction of my company is social media marketing, man.
Yes.
I mean, you know, there's nothing like social media marketing. It is the next best thing when you own a business, when you operate it correctly. And so we were blessed to have a 3-year plan. When we started this company, my wife and I, it was Trust by Tony and Keisha, and we were the first African-American Christian company to open a kiosk in the Quaker Bridge Mall.
Wow.
Yeah, we had a 3-year plan, Kev. A 3-year plan was we were going to do 1 full year at Quaker Bridge Mall, which we did. The second year, we were doing 1 full year at Philadelphia Mills, over in PA, which we got to the 11th month, and I'll come back to that. We were also going to do our 3rd year, 1 year at the Gallery in Philadelphia before opening a store in the Gallery in Philly.
Yes.
But in my 11th month, I had to have major back surgery.
Okay.
And so in my time, as I was going through rehab for back surgery, is when I learned more about Facebook and Instagram marketing.
Yes. And
then, you know, I learned more about social media marketing. And then I realized, you know, our company could almost doubled when I learned more about social media marketing. And that's when I realized that I really didn't need to have the brick and mortar store. So I've invested a lot of resources and a lot of money and a lot of time figuring out social media marketing. And it's something that every business today needs.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing, man. Yeah, because that's a whole nother paradigm shift in terms of marketing, in terms of brick and mortar, what we've been comfortable with, right? And I think the pandemic has shown us that we don't need so much of the brick and mortar as well as we need the marketing to understand where you are, and we can get it drop shipped to you next day.
That's exactly right. And that's one of the things we're going to talk about, man. I mean, I'm on my own personal Facebook page, you know, and I post some pictures, you know, it's just my own personal page, but through my business pages, you know, we market all over the country.
Yes.
And so we're able to ship, like I think I mentioned to you, we ship more to Las Vegas than any other state in the country, man. I'm like,
what?
It's so funny. Yeah, I'm like, why? I'm like, I always laugh, Kev. I'm like, I'm thinking like, what churches are in, you know, what churches are in Las Vegas?
Yeah.
But what I always tell my wife, I'm like, well, I guess there's a lot of people losing their money, so they're asking God. So they're like, let me get one of these trust shirts.
Let me get one of these shirts. Might give me a blessing.
Let me get one of these trust shirts, man, so I can get my. But yeah, man. So you know, we're going to be talking about social media marketing and how important it is to any business that wants to thrive and expand themselves past their own community.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tony, you always are welcome back on this platform. Let's you and I stay connected, and let's do something about our doability, brother.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I'm looking forward to it, and again, thank you so much for the opportunity to come on and share freely. Eb, I really appreciate you for this opportunity.
You are always welcome. You know, we want to give the entrepreneurs the greatest of insight and access to the community, so they can really kind of, like, excuse the pun, download who they are, so we get a better sense of who you are. But thank you.
Awesome. I appreciate you.
All right, brother. We'll talk and text soon, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Talk to you.
Bye-bye.
That concludes another episode of The Entrepreneurial Enclave with Kevin Wortham, the podcast that focuses on building, maintaining, pivoting, planning, and investing in you, the entrepreneur. We hope you found this episode informative and enlightening. If you have any questions or comments about any of our episodes, please call 609-731-9311 or email kevin@minding-our-business.com. We look forward to joining us for our next one. Until next time.